Okay. So let's talk a little bit about transition, the peaceful transition of power, and the first thing that I've noticed, working here and dealing in my small sector of this world, is that there's a lot of dust that's being thrown up, a lot of smoke, a lot of dust. People are you know saying they're worried about their jobs, they're worried about government functioning, but has anybody stopped getting a paycheck or disability payment, social security payment? I don't think so. Now, those that are not getting a paycheck because they were removed are political appointees. I do think that there's a group, a very strong contingency within the federal government, that they're more focused on their own personal jobs and their personal agendas and than they are on the duty that they were hired to perform. And I think that if they focus on the duty they were hired to perform, they don't have anything to worry about. But if they're involved in all these extraneous things, and I don't care if you're running a political hack site for the right, and neither does this organization that's coming in. So I will just tell you, you individuals that'll be watching this, because they know, you're running these sites and you're working as a federal employee from your home. I know two of you, okay, in West Virginia, and you're doing this. One works for the VA, one works for the IRS. Understand, it doesn't matter how you sound. You might be, talking about how greatly aligned you are with this effort and stuff. It's still, you're working on the clock doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And you're going to get hammered for that, because ultimately we know what you're really doing. You're really gathering information, and you're playing both sides of the fence because you're a grifter. And you've been identified and you have been reported, by multiple people. So I'm just saying that now would be a good time to really consider pulling all your stuff down. And just because you're giving information to your spouse to do it, don't think for 1 minute that you're not going to be the one they're coming after. Because when you release personal and private information on individuals, and I've seen a lot of it, and I've been out here watching for the last 4 years, gathering data, because that's what I do. And I'm telling you, I don't say anything, but I'm saying it now. And people have got it, everything that I've got. And it's not a conspiracy thing. It's a realistic thing here. We've got to start doing what the hell you're supposed to be doing. Do your job. Stay focused. If you work in veterans, DOD, wherever you work at, do what you're supposed to be doing. Period. Period. Take a lunch break and do what you want to do. Take vacation if you want to take vacation, but you can't. And let me just restate this. You cannot be on the federal dole and also simultaneously taking kickbacks and funds and money and other things, to include materials, supplies, and equipment, um, from a state or a federal agency or a private entity. They are going to catch you. There is a paper trail. It is going to happen. And that's what's upsetting people right now, Greg and Val, is that people have, that's become part of their income. It's like we're getting ready to see people lose, 40, $50,000 a year that they were getting in this scandalous nonsense that they were involved in. And it upsets people when that happens. In some cases, a lot more. And I think that if you go after and you look deeply, and Doge looks deeply at the government bonus programs, and that's all entities. That's not just the VA. That's the IRS, Treasury, all of them, DEA, all of them. And they start really examining how much money that is going out in bonuses. And I'm not talking about that really outstanding worker, because there are some workers that do great things, but they've expect this as part of their pay, and they have budgeted their whole lives around, well, I got 30,000 last year, I'll get 40,000 this year. And that's become an expectation. And it's not. A bonus is just that. It is a bonus for work over and above and beyond. Kind of like the military awards. You go in, you get a paycheck, you get the honor of serving in uniform, and when you do your job and you just do your job, then that's your reward. Okay? And then you get an honorable discharge at the end of it. But when you do great, wonderful things that are up here, then they have a reward system. I think that the Department of Defense and all these other federal agencies, they need a reward system. Maybe it's not money. See, it was never money for the military. They didn't give you a bonus unless you re-enlisted. That's the truth. You got a medal. You got a certificate of appreciation, or a commander called you out in formation and shook your hand and said, "Great job, soldier." And those things are adequate and they are honorable. And maybe the government needs to go to something like that because they've been so fixated on bonuses and money. We're now trillions in debt. And I think if we would go back, I did this, we're working on a project